Okay, welcome back to What's New. Barry Schwartz here. Hello. Mordy is named Mordy in this video for some reason. It's very confusing. I'm a little bit off right now. And of course, we have Greg as well. Thank you, Greg. The big news here is what Greg's going to talk about.
Yes, from Google. Time to fire that oven back up because cookies are back and here to stay.
I think you go more like cookies are crumbling or something, but yeah. I'll be talking about Google Ads Editor version 2.7 is out. Morty?
I guess an AI description is worth 1,000 words when it's related to video.
All right, so yesterday Google dropped what I would say is a bombshell to the advertising world, where over the past years, Google has been trying to move away from cookies and have some different alternatives where you can target people with less specific personalization, let's say. We've seen Flock, the federated learning of cohorts. We've seen topics be introduced. Google came up with this entire privacy sandbox where people could go and try to make different ways to target people without having to cookie them individually on their site. And we've just heard nonstop, hey, we're getting rid of cookies in 2024. Oh, hopefully the beginning of 2025. That's when cookies are going away. Yesterday, we learned that cookies are just here. They're here to stay. We're not getting rid of them. And so Google put out a post over on privacysandbox.com. And they're having an updated approach that will give users choice in, I believe, their Chrome browser as a way to make it easier to be able to opt in or opt out, or we'll see what happens. Nobody really knows at this point. But it's going to be a new Chrome experience that will help you better control those cookies. It seems like, again, it's pretty vague. And they also said that they're discussing the new path with regulators, and then we'll engage with the industry as we roll this out. So that was a statement from Google. And obviously, we've heard cookies will be gone. And then it's just a 180 on that. There was also some helpful information, I thought, as well from the Google statement about the fact that if you were working on things within the privacy sandbox in different ways to be able to target without as much personally identifiable information and specific cookies, that will stay. So that privacy sandbox is still going to be around. And they had also kind of alluded to the fact that this still could be very helpful because the option that they may give people on Chrome might stop targeting quite a bit. And you just might have these people that it's easier to opt out of cookies. And then they will not be able to be targeted by cookies, so that some of these things that people have been building and trying to find different ways to target in privacy sandbox will still be around and still may be of help. So if you put a lot of work into there, it's not for naught, at least at this point.
All these talk about cookies, I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I thought two things. One, I'm surprised people are surprised. I mean, I guess Google kept saying cookies are going away, but they kept delaying it and changing so it was a shock to a lot of people. But I'm thinking about it now, I'm like, why was it such a shock? Because Google kept delaying this and delaying this and delaying this, and the other methods just don't work well. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm not sure everybody was shocked, right? I don't think anybody was like, oh, I told you so.
Yeah, but I felt like, oh my God, I didn't see this ever coming. Like, because it's like, at least with like mobile first indexing, they kind of slowly move. But with the cookie thing, which is like a lot of talk, I feel like Google's like, when you're on a diet and you have like, you get off a diet a little bit and you get off a diet a little bit, I feel like, and then you just go full on crazy. Like, all right, this thing is gone. I feel Google's like full off the diet. Like, let's just announce, like, who cares about what we said in the last 2 years? Let's just roll with that. We're not doing this now. They're just like, I don't know. It feels like a little unhinged the way they went about this.
Yeah, and I saw two funny comments. One is, they should do the same thing with the helpful content update.
There's another unhinged moment.
And two, Alfred Simon posted like a screenshot from the Google Ads console showing like a notice that third-party cookies are going away. You better go ahead and make changes. So it's like literally right after the announcement. So it's funny to see that.
Yeah, and I would go on out there to say, like, I don't know if anything else happened this weekend, but it was the talk of the entire, let's say it's the talk of the weekend about cookies and
Yeah.
Monday.
No, yeah, nothing else happened over the
Nothing.
weekend of significance.
No, but honestly, like every other option that they had was pretty flawed. Like Flock wasn't great. Topics, I believe, was the name of the last one, and there was like all this randomized stuff in there. Honestly, like you just can't beat the fact of personalized, cookie based information, especially from like a remarketing standpoint. So from an advertising standpoint, I know people always want like the tangible takeaway here. I do think this is going to be very beneficial. Obviously, there are people that opt out, and you can't go after them and get. But I think from an advertising standpoint, this is the best case that we could have.
Right. I do think, again, I think the approach of the browser makes sense. Like Apple's, like their last commercial with the birds and the thing flying in, and just, I think the browsers are going to determine what is being tracked and what's not. So I think the browser is the way to go, unless I'm misunderstanding everything.
Right, but then you have one browser that Google owns, that's Chrome, but what about my Edge browser? Like, how does that comply with cookies? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could see the dilemma from the Google side of things.
Right.
Like, is every browser now going to have to go adopt Google's ad requirements just because that's what Google wants? Like, you can see the dilemma.
Also, how easy are they going to make it to opt out? They don't really want you to opt out.
I would imagine that they make it pretty easy. I mean, this
Really?
like if you look at just, again, all the writing on the wall about cookies are gone, we're doing this, we're trying this, like it seems like that's a big sticking point from a regulatory standpoint. So from that standpoint, I'm sure they're going to do everything that's possible. And you see it too with even like cookie consent mode. Like they're going to start cracking down on that on Google Ads too, if you do not have all the proper disclosures and things like that. They've already hinted at it, and that's coming down the pipe as well.
All right. And then on the other ad news, and I'll cover this, is Google Ads Editor version 2.7 is out. And the release notes show a bunch of features, including AI-generated assets for asset groups, account-level content label exclusions, account-level negative keywords, and a bunch of other things, including they're removing some features like smart shopping campaigns and ads, fee-based location assets, and fee-based location groups, plus a bunch of other new features in there. Not sure if anything caught your eye, Greg, there, but there's a lot of new features in that list.
No, a lot of that stuff sucks. Like the AI generated images, it's, you're going to make a Morty with 7 fingers. Like it's not great.
Actually, fingers.
Actually doesn't make humans, to be fair. No,
It's
I mean,
more fingers, not less, by the way. Like I need like 11.
And I know we're kind of going to skip by it. Like that's just all like helpful stuff to match the web interface. But Barry, you had another post about the larger site names and favicons. That got me excited. That got me real excited.
I don't know. They were much larger. If they were a little bit larger, I wouldn't cover it. But they were like, some people like point out they're like a pixel bigger, and I'm like, okay, like something like. But this was actually significantly larger, and it actually caught my eye, so I figured I'd cover it. But I know Mordy wanted to talk more about AI because that's what
I just love AI. You know, it'd be great if Google could start summarizing videos with AI when there's already a description. Although that, I'll be fair, like sometimes there's not. So this is a test. So sometimes you can watch a video from the SERP on you, go straight to YouTube, but sometimes you can watch it as an overlay. And there's also like little features that happen when you do that aside from this. So Google has now been testing writing descriptions for the video in that overlay ecosystem using the AI overviews. I think like when there's already a description, I think people generally do a good job with it. There are a lot of cases, I will say, where I just noticed where people don't do a good job writing descriptions. They just kind of stuff in the links. So maybe it does make sense-ish. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I agree. I mean, my descriptions on these videos are generic. The title is unique. The description is generic. But the ones I do on Friday are pretty detailed.
Right. So you're going to want AI to write the Friday one, but it's write this one. But like, is Google going to be that nuanced about what it writes? Who knows?
We'll find out.
I think generally it's helpful, especially for something like this where there's high volume, and let's say quantity, and who knows about quality, right? Let's be honest. I'm on here. But no, I think they actually could help people just expedite things. Although, again, you get the effort you put into things, right? Like it's probably not going to be as good as if you gave it 100.
It does seem like a lot of YouTubers, popular ones, don't put very detailed descriptions into their description boxes. So unless I'm misunderstanding, but it seems like most people posting videos on YouTube are not doing a really good detailed job with their descriptions.
That's
Yeah,
because video creators, they don't know how to write.
Yeah, and I remember Mr. Beast came out and said that for like his biggest thing is thumbnails and trying to do that poll, in instead of trying to push your video out like YouTube always talks about. And I believe the average cost of a thumbnail for him was $10,000. That he's spending $10,000 on a thumbnail.
Well, when you spend millions of dollars in the video itself, it's $10,000. So
I want that
note,
job.
You want
Let me
that job?
sit on
pay those
Photoshop for 2 hours and make $10,000. I want that job.
Can you imagine they did it on Canva?
You really never know. It's just, you never know. On that news. All right, cool. Thank you very much. See you guys back tomorrow. Everyone have a great day and enjoy those cookies. Tomorrow.
Bye.